I don't know if y'all saw this video, but they was like, why they not picking up black people? Like, why they picking up all the Latinos and the Hispanics or whatever and calling them illegals and all that type of stuff? But they be saying that we need to go back home. Why are they not sending us back home? Why are they not sending us back to Africa? Just something to think about.
Hello, black people. I hope you're staying home. Don't be out there protesting in Los Angeles. That's what they want. They want to gun us down. Stay home.
I'm so glad that the people of LA are just saying no to fascism, that they're just not going to let ICE walk over them. They're like, no, you can't just take random people in our community and lock them in a basement with no light and give them minimal food. Like, we're not going to take that shit. Like, we're only 6 months into his administration. Donald Trump has already fully turned ICE into the Gestapo, just grabbing random people in the streets, hiding their faces, sending them to like facilities and God knows where, either in Louisiana or to El Salvador or to like Libya, to like random countries, and people are like, no, you can't fucking do.
Please let all of the insane and atrocious footage coming out of Los Angeles of federal agents with masks shooting into crowds of people bring back into the fore, into the mainstream, the demand to wholesale abolish ICE. I, and likely many of the people that are watching this video, are older than ICE is as an agency. That agency was created in March of 2003. The Department of Homeland Security, November of 2002. Let's not get it twisted. This is an agency whose primary purpose is to sow discord and rip communities and families apart in the way that we are seeing unfold in mass here in Los Angeles. And they're using billions and billions of our hard-earned tax dollars to be able to pull off terrorizing and ripping apart all of our communities. And that pool of like multiple $billions that is currently ICE's budget has just continued to balloon year after year after year, no matter who is in office, no matter who is in charge of the Congress. Like, we cannot let politicians continue getting away with the whole, like, immigrants are welcome here, heart facade that they use to win elections, while they continue to arm up the organizations that terrorize our communities.
Trump putting 500 Marines on standby, because y'all wilding out there in LA. I done saw cars burning and everything. And y'all, hey, be mindful of them agitators, the people that are in them crowds that are put there to cause chaos, okay? Because they're going to use that to justify any action or force that they take for y'all. Y'all be safe out there.
Hello and welcome back to the channel once again. I hope you're doing fine wherever you're tuning in from. And I'm also thankful that you have chosen to watch this channel and to watch this video on this channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Now, in today's video, I'll be talking about a trending topic. You know, it's a topic that you have heard of and I've also heard of. And when I heard it, it kind of saddened my heart. I felt quite sad. And for sure, it's a sad day on the internet. Why am I saying this? It's simply because we have witnessed a very big protest in LA, and this protest is as a result of the ICE raids that were happening in LA. We have seen the ICE officers or officers from the ICE raiding so many families in LA, and specifically targeting the Latinos or the Mexican American families. Yeah, and it has been a sad day on the internet, and in this video we will be looking at black people's reactions towards the whole situation. You remember that first, Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, ordered the National Security Guard or the security personnel to intervene, and they have been fighting with the protesters. They have been trying to calm down the protesters, and the protests for sure have not been peaceful. We have seen looters looting shops, and we have seen also journalists being brutalized by the security, you know, and there are so many controversies online at the moment, like the video of the reporter who was shot by a rubber bullet. People say that the person who shot her with the rubber bullet was a goon and not a security personnel. You know, there are so many controversies, and amidst all the controversies, those illegal immigrants are crying out loud for the black community to help them. They are crying in regret that yes, we as Mexican Americans voted in for President Trump, and right now we regret blacks or the black community, you were right indeed for warning us not to vote for him. But yeah, here we are. And despite the fact that we do sympathize and empathize with them, blacks have still hold on their initial stand that they will not be taking part in any protests now and in the future. And in the previous past, or in the near past, we've just seen other raids going on, other protests, being held nationwide, and blacks were not taking part in those protests. Now, let us get to see what black people had to say, or what they have to say. I just made a compilation of TikToks from black creators and what they are saying in accordance or in relation to this whole issue. Well, some people say that after dealing with the Mexican Americans, or after dealing with the Cubans, the next minority group that will be targeted is the blacks or the African Americans. Well, is that right? Or is that exactly what is going to happen? As of the moment, I don't know. Before we get into that, let us dive into the video. And by the way, please make sure you watch the video to the very end, because I really want to know what your thoughts are concerning this topic. I really want to know what you think about this very topic, because I believe this is an issue or a topic that needs to that we need to talk about. I believe we need to have a conversation about this. I believe it's sensitive, but we need to talk about it. By talking about it, we'll be creating awareness. Tell me what you think. If you're black, do you think we will be next? If you're African American, tell me what you think. Or if at all you are white, just tell me what your thoughts are. Yeah. So without wasting any time, let's get straight into the video, and I hope to catch you at the very end where I'll be giving my commentary.
These ICE raids that's been going on in Los Angeles, straight heartbreaking, crazy. Can you imagine being a kid at school waiting on mom or dad to come pick you up after school is out, and mom or dad never shows up because mom or dad has been picked up in an ICE raid, and they don't know if they will ever see you again. They don't know where they're going to be shipped off to. They don't even know how you're going to get picked up from school or from daycare. Their relatives don't know. Nobody knows. All we know is mom or dad has not come to pick you up from school. There gotta be a better way to do things. This is not the way. Los Angeles, this is not the way. It's heartbreaking.
You know, guys, there are real people behind those ICE agent masks. And those real people have real friends, and have real families, and have real community members. And those people know who those people are. First name, last name, where they live. Now, I'm not saying to share that information. Doxing is wrong. But I am saying, though, if you know somebody who works for ICE and you are not holding them personally accountable for the absolute piece of shit that they are, if you are not shaming them directly, if you are not discouraging their continued participation in this fascist exploit, in this grotesque fascist display of power, why not? Just wondering. I think that you actually do have a duty to your country to cut this off at the head. And that does mean that wherever they go, after they take that uniform off, after they take that mask off, wherever they're laying their head down at night, wherever they go get their coffee, wherever they go interact with other human beings, they need to be met with shame, with disgust, and that's really it. That's really it. There's no justification for this. There's no justification for unmarked vans and people who can cover their faces and have no need to identify themselves to just pull people off the street and throw them into vehicles and take them away without any due process. There's no justification for it. And so if you know anyone who works for ICE, what are you doing for your community right now? What are you doing for your country right now? Are you shrugging your shoulders because it doesn't impact you? Are you minding your business? Are you keeping your head down? Who does that help? Who does that help?
Gratas, I believe elementary, was having their graduation. And all of a sudden a bunch of parents have to run out because ISIS is there. This is the story that I'm hearing. And, you know, our school goes on lockdown. Our principal, you know, tells us it's a drill, but we know it's not a drill. And, you know, I had to come outside. It's my break. We kind of got like off of a soft lockdown. And, you know, parents had to run out because they don't have papers. And they had to leave their kids because the kids do. What type of shit is this, yo? And then kids are freaking grabbing teachers and crying on their leg because they don't know if they're about to see their parents when they get home. What the fuck is this? And we voted for this shit? 15 people just got picked up on Wilshire at the Home Depot. On Wilshire. Yo. Man, oh my God. This is not right. This is not right, yo.
Every single one of y'all in LA that's in the streets running around like a bunch of fucking monkeys right now, all y'all bunch of bitches. Yeah, I said it. All y'all, whatever you want to call it, protesting, rioting, every single one of y'all is straight bitches. You know why? Flocking the streets of motherfuckers that's trying to get home, trying to get home from work, trying to get to work. Y'all bump chests with the motherfucking cops. You puss-ass, punk-ass bitches get the backing up. Yeah, when them guns and the batons come out, all y'all pussy, all y'all bitches, you get the backing up, you get the backing down, but you want to block the road of motherfuckers that ain't got shit to do with shit, just trying to get home, just trying to get to work, shit like that. Was all that bravado? Was all that tough guy shit then? When the motherfuckers, you know what I mean? The National Guard, the motherfucking Marines, if they end up coming, yeah, all y'all get the backing down and covering your faces and all that and running and scattering like a bunch of fucking little dirty roaches. Huh? All y'all's is bitches. You lucky I ain't out there. You stand in front of me, block me while I'm trying to get home. I'm mashing the gas with all y'all. Yeah. Try it. I wish I was out there. Stand in front of my car, fuck around and find out. Bitches, all y'all. Get the fuck home. All y'all stink. You been standing out there for how long? You all dirty as shit.
I don't even know how to begin this video, but it's about the immigration protest that's been happening in LA. And I would like to share my experience of the LA protest and the ICE protests that's happening in LA. I was thinking about this because I just saw a post that Donald Trump is saying he is going to send the National Guard to California because of the protest that's happening in LA right now. When I, as a Black American, hear people running from an assembly, a graduation assembly, because ICE chose to target an elementary school graduation, knowing that there will be black and brown, but I mean, we know what it is. So specifically our brown brothers and sisters, to cause chaos and to round them up and to call them criminals to justify you taking their rights away. As a Black man in America, I never thought I would experience the privilege of passing. When the shoe was on the other foot so many years ago, this could only be how our mixed brothers and sisters felt when they had to see their black brothers and sisters fight for their rights. And now, if I was to go to a graduation, the ICE agents, they're not going to look at me. I look black. Even if I came straight out of Africa, I look black. It's literally as black and white as that. So they're not coming after me. And I'm privileged to say that. But then I have to look to my neighbors left and right. And they have to worry. Because it doesn't matter if they are citizens or not. Just because they look a certain thing, they're getting targeted right now. America, please do better.
Y'all, don't worry. Like, the United States, like, do you see how many people were protesting against, like, do you see how many people stood up against this fucking regime that we're under? Like, there's honestly, like, that turnout alone should be enough hope for all of us. Yeah, shit is fucked up. The ICE raids, and they just gonna keep expanding and going to different cities and shit. They're gonna keep trying to terrorize civilians and shit. But honestly, I feel like the American people, us citizens, us civilians, we will overcome this. Like, we will. It's 300 million of us, y'all, against little, you know what I'm saying? Like, bitch ass ICE, the bitch ass military. You know what I mean? Like, we run this shit. The American citizens, the citizens of America, the working class people. We run this motherfucker. Okay? Not fucking ICE. Not the fucking okay? No, let me just say this, y'all. We're gonna overcome this shit, okay? Like, ICE had to call for fucking backup. Like some little bitch ass fucking pussy ass bitches. Like, fuck ICE. You know what I mean? Fuck ICE. And that's what you know what I mean? Like, they're a little masked up, afraid to show their fucking face, because they're fucking cowards. Keep a fucking constitution on you. Tote that fucking iron. Yo, I'm so serious right now. Fuck all these motherfuckers that are coming up against us working class people making this country run, you know what I mean? And then they're giving our tax dollars to these motherfuckers that are, fucking terrorizing innocent people. Terrorizing people overseas and shit. The entire shit is fucking corrupt. We need this system, we're going. Yo, this is just another version of the Civil War, okay? We're gonna come out on top. Like, it's more of us than it is them. Like, last night should have been a spark of hope, because yeah, it was fucking devastating what happened. You know what I mean? It was devastating. Don't get me wrong. Do not get me I'm not gonna say it was a good thing what happened last night. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is, we're going to overcome this, y'all. I promise you. We gotta keep speaking out against this shit. We gotta keep using our platforms to speak out against these atrocities going on here and overseas. Start building community, start organizing, start helping people. We gotta start relying on more. We gotta have more empathy. I feel like the time of individualism, I feel like that shit is becoming kind of cooked. It's becoming cooked.
California is coming in hot, and the president has just signed a memorandum to send military troops, U.S. military troops, on the ground in Los Angeles. And yeah, this is about to get crazy. With all of the protesting that's been happening against the ICE raids in Los Angeles, the situation just keeps growing. It's getting bigger and bigger with opposition and defiance. To me, it doesn't seem any more serious than any other protest that has been happening around the U.S. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't heard anything about people, dying or looting or what have you, to the point where we would need to enact martial law. At any rate, it looks like that that is what this will turn out to be, which isn't a good thing. It's going to set a precedence that this administration and Republicans will never be able to come back from. Whenever martial law is enacted, and it has been extremely rare to do, it gives the military power to rule over the citizens. They enact curfews. They, shut down media outlets to keep lies from being spread so that the situation can die down. But I think the thing to really pay attention to in this situation, which is bigger than the ICE raids, bigger than the troops being deployed, to take over National Guard duties and police duties, it's the fact that if this president is able to do this, then he is the one that gets to say when martial law is over. Now, martial law is something that is temporary. It's limited. It is not something that's supposed to last forever and ever. But under our current administration, the current pig in charge, I'm wondering, and you should be wondering too, how long we're going to have to ride this out if it gets to that point. Now, just knowing this had me curious about when martial law has been used and how long it lasted, In my research, I came across the attack on Pearl Harbor and how martial law was used in that situation. At that time, the governor handed power over to the military to bring order. Military commanders replaced courts, and so they had the authority to enact curfews and legal proceedings and enforce rules and even censor the press. I feel like in some slick way, we have been living martial law and not even realizing it. I'm gonna let that marinate with y'all for a little bit. But basically, these people lived under strict military rule, and it lasted for 3 years. 3. How many more years do we have with this current administration? And the governor wasn't the one that declared martial law to be over. The citizens, the citizens, the people, sued because they felt like their rights were being violated. And that suit got all the way up to the Supreme Court. And that's what helped end martial law during the Pearl Harbor situation and return power back to, the civilian government. I think my concern is if this were to be enacted, we don't know if it is, but if it were to be enacted, just how long it would be enforced. And knowing our current pig in chief, this could last as long as he wants it to. Because even if we are suing, even if we are going the legal route to fight back, he operates above the law. Because if he operated within the law, he would not be in the position that he's in right now. So he's clearly operating above the law, which allows him to get away with so much. That's like the big question. Why does he continue to get away with so much? That's why. He's got the worst people in the right places, and they are helping him to get away with this. But that does not mean that the people cannot fight back. And one way that you can do that is by heading to the polls in November for these midterms. Y'all, please vote in the midterms for November, because that may be our only way out. I'm not even kidding. Because it seems like the legal route means nothing. He is literally above the law. But if we have people in place that are the majority and are able to fight for we the people, then we have a better chance. And he may not even be in office by the end of this year. One can dream. At any rate, this is worth following, and this is worth gathering more information about, because it's going to affect all of us. That's my 2 cents. What are you guys thinking?
So someone asked me, why was I upset about a black kid being called the N-word, but now I'm okay with Mexican mothers being taken away from their children? And my response to that is, I'm not okay with that. I think that they should all leave the country together if you really care about keeping families together. But just because you come into this country illegally and doesn't have a kid doesn't mean that you get a jail out of free card. That's not how it works. There's still consequences to coming into the country illegally, and you knew that very much when you came in here. Second of all, I'm not upset just because it's a Mexican mother. I don't care if it's a Mexican mother, a white mother, or Asian mother. If you come into this country illegally, you're going to get deported, and you should. Now, I'm not saying there shouldn't be certain exceptions. I understand and have compassion for, maybe, but at the end of the day, you are not entitled to stay in the country if you came in illegally. And so, I guess to sum it up in simple terms, racism is bad. Racism is bad. But law enforcement and officers doing their job, that's good. We need law enforcement. Hope this helps. Hope this helps.
It's getting a little spooky-ooky out there. It's getting very spooky-ooky. And I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm not going to try to fearmonger you. But, I need everybody to be safe. Okay? I need everybody to know your rights. Do not pick up the bricks. Be safe. Cover up. Make sure if you are out there, stay hydrated. This is where it starts. This is the kickoff. It's like the catalyst, because I have no words. Like, I have no words. I have no words at all, other than I need folks to be safe. I need everybody to be able to come home. Especially those who are marching. Know your rights. Okay? Know your rights. For folks on the sidelines, stay rested, do what you got to do, but stay alert. Okay.
So I'm here driving through downtown LA, where I live, and the Latino community is full on protesting, okay? And I just need, this is for the Latino, the Mexican community, the immigrant community, anybody who wants to chime in and make this shit make sense to me. Because as I see it, you are illegal in America, protesting because America wants to send you back to Mexico. I mean, there's other places, but let's be honest, this is a targeted situation. ICE is targeting Mexican Americans, El Salvadorians, such and the such. So, anyways, back to where the confusion lies, is that you are protesting in America about the deportation back to Mexico, but you're waving Mexican flags in America. It would seem as though you would want to go get you some American flags as Mexican Americans and wave those flags, showing that I am just as an American as you are. I am just as much a part of this land and the fabric and everything that makes this country great, this city even great. And I'm just not understanding, like, make it make sense. You don't want to go back to the country that they are deporting you to, but you're waving the flag of that country. But you want to stay in America. Dramatic pause, because I just wanted you guys to, calculate that in your brain for a second. So if you could, down in the comments, can we have a discussion about it? Because I get it, and it is fucked up. I don't know, TikTok's probably going to kick my ass for that, but whatever, okay? It's messed up. It's horrible what they're doing, and they are taking people who are actually born in America. But I don't think waving your Mexican flag is sending the message that you think that it's sending. If you really want to piss them off, go get you a bunch of American flags
and wave that flag.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. It's such a sad day on the internet, and it's not quite something. It's not something that we expected to see, not now or not anytime, anytime in this period of time. I mean, we are living in the 21st century. Who expected to see the FBI taking part to calm down peaceful protesters who are actually harmless? Who saw these? But we have seen the FBI taking part in coming down the demonstration and in neutralizing the protesters. And amidst even the presence of the FBI, we have also seen looters and thieves or violent goons taking part or attacking the protesters who are rather peaceful. Now, this is something that I would not think that I will see, not in my lifetime, because we're living in a digital age, in a digital era. And first of all, this goes without saying that these Mexican Americans are the same people that were wearing red in the previous elections, and they did not hear when we African Americans told them not to vote in for Trump. In fact, they voted against their interests. You know, they voting in President Trump was against their interests simply because they thought that they were more white than they were black or something close to that. But just because by the mere fact that you're not black does not make you white. And it's right now that Mexican Americans are realizing that they are not white. You know, it's so unfortunate, and I am not supporting the things that are going on. In fact, the black community is sympathizing with them. It's not that we are supporting them, the ICE raids or the IC raids or the ICE raids. I'm sorry. It's not that we are supporting them, but we're just saying that actions have consequences, and by saying this, you know, we're just putting it out there. It's about speaking the truth so that it may not happen, so that it may not have to repeat again, so that we may not have a repeat of the same. You know, that's not the only election that we are having. You know, as long as democracy lives, the United States of America will have another election, and I believe that we have learned from our mistakes and will not repeat such a thing again. But aside from that, come back to the thing where other people are saying that Mexican Americans are just being targeted. Do you think they are being targeted? We have also heard Cubans being deported. We've heard Hispanians being deported. Like, do you think they're being targeted? You know, the Mexican Americans make a very big part or a very huge population in LA, and people are out there saying that they are being targeted. Now, about that, I'd want you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Tell me, do you think they are being targeted? And if at all they are being targeted, which group of minorities will be targeted next? Because apparently, according to that narrative, the president is going around targeting minority groups. Yeah. And that's not just the only narrative. Not everyone is against it, by the way. There are some pro-Trump supporters and some MAGA supporters who are trying to make sense of the whole situation, trying to say that whatever Trump is doing is right, and ICE is just doing its original job, that it is very bad and it's against the law to be in America illegally, and that illegal immigrants should be deported for real. So I totally don't know. And by the way, if you're hearing some noise, I am having my gas cylinder replaced. So yeah, hey, pardon me for the noise. Yeah, I have someone replacing my gas cylinder. The delivery is just being made right now. So yeah, pardon. Anyway, so as I was saying, do you think that these are the minority groups are next in line? Do you think that African Americans are also being targeted or are next in line? And should blacks really participate in the protests? You know, in the past we've seen blacks participate in some protests and actually let's say protesting for their rights. Yeah, and most of the privileges that these minority groups in America, most of the privileges that they are having right now are privileges that were fought by blacks. They are rights that blacks really fought hard to get, you know. So most of the things that they are enjoying are just fruits of black freedom fighters, and right now they are calling upon blacks or the black community to be and stand with them in the protests. But it's something that blacks still hold, that they will not be part of the protest. Now I don't know, I think that blacks should remain vigilant and stay strong with the protest, with their stand or regarding the protests, them not taking part or being part of the protests. Now I am so sorry about that. So sorry, very sorry about that. Anyway, tell me what you think about the whole situation in the comment section. I'll be glad to read your comments in the comment section. If you're new to this, please give this video a thumbs up, and if at all this is the kind of content that resonates with you, or this is the kind of content that speaks to your soul, then please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. I post these kind of videos on this YouTube channel on a daily basis for free, by the way, and the only way that you can give back to me is by giving me your subscription. Now subscribe to this channel, and that way you will be guaranteed to view and to be notified each and every time I make a new upload. Thank you so much. Otherwise, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye.